First of all, we want to congratulate Villanova. They played an outstanding game. They were really prolific from behind the three-point line. They're tough to guard when they're making threes at that rate. They're an experienced team. They know what they're doing. Obviously, in the second half when the game got out of hand, it looked like they were a team that's played deep in the NCAA tournament and obviously, with that championship pedigree. But Jay's done a nice job. He's had just a terrific run at Villanova. Really respect what they've done. So we just want to, first of all, congratulate them. I'm really proud of our team. I am so proud of our team, and I told them that in the locker room. A lot of, all of our players and coaches and staff, Alabama wasn't their only option. They had options to go and play and go to school and work up places all over the country, but they made a decision to come to Alabama. And because of that decision, Alabama basketball is in a better place than where it was several years ago. So the three gentlemen, along with the rest of the guys on the team, they played their hearts out. Not many teams in the country can survive a 5-game losing streak at the end of the season going into tournament play and not only survive but advance in the SEC tournament like we did and win a game in the NCAA tournament. So I'm really proud. We're disappointed that we lost, but I'm proud of our guys.
Questions for the student athletes. Remember, please give your name and affiliation prior to asking. Right back here.
JoeGoodmanAL.com. This question is for Colin. It seemed like you were forcing your offense once they went on their run. Why weren't you guys able to, pull back into the lead?
Wait, huh? Say the question again.
You guys started forcing your offense there in the second half. What happened? I guess why couldn't you pull back up into the lead?
Honestly, when situations like that, sometimes we just start rushing and trying to get a shot up, and so that we can stop the bleeding. And that's about it. That's what I can say.
Follow-up question to that: are you gonna go pro in the NBA draft?
Right now, I'm worried about my team and celebrating with my team because we had a great season, and also I got to finish school, and I'm trying to finish with a 4.0.
Two questions for Colin. One, what do you feel like you guys proved in this tournament?
I feel like, honestly, we proved a lot. Starting with SEC tournament, I feel like we had heart. We showed people that we got heart and we don't give up. We lost 5 straight and we came back from that, and we made it here. And everybody counted us out, and I feel like we just kept fighting and kept pushing.
Second thing, obviously you got a head coach that's been an NBA coach. What things are you looking at in terms of one way or another, whether you will or come out?
He already answered that question. Let's get another question for the other two guys.
Okay, well, I'll ask another question for Dante then. Dante, what do you feel like was the difference in this game overall?
Just momentum changes. We had momentum at one point. They had momentum at another point. Just them shooting the ball really well tonight. We couldn't pursue too much on that. So I felt like that was a lot of part of the game tonight.
Jeff Goodman with ESPN. Colin, or either of you guys, any of you guys, but why is Villanova so impressive? Why are they so difficult to defend? And how do they stack up against the other really good teams you've played so far this year?
Dejan, you want to start with that one?
Yeah, Villanova, they could stretch you out. They got shooting all around. They play like a 4-round-1, so I mean it's very hard to defend once they're knocking down shots, and they could get you off your feet if you go for the pump fake, and they could get in the lane, find another player, and they're gonna knock down the shot. So we didn't do a very good job of defending the 3-point tonight. So and they hit 17 of them.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Good job.
Just a reminder, the Alabama locker room is open at this time.
Good job. Good job. All right.
Questions for Coach?
Avery, is this the Villanova? Is that the blueprint where you want to get this Alabama team?
Well, definitely shooting the basketball. Your plays work a lot better when you can make threes. And just to piggyback on something Dejon said, even in the first half, when we were there in position, they made contested three-point shots. The one they made right before the end of the first half, we're in their face, and the guy steps back and make a three. But, a lot of their guys, or most of their guys, all can pass, dribble, and shoot. And you can see a blueprint on even having fives and centers that can stretch the floor. When you got centers that can make threes, that's kind of that Euro-style type offense. And that's not only where the NBA game is going, but that's where the collegiate game is. And that's a pretty good blueprint on that style of play.
Coach, just curious in terms of when you looked at scouting them, I mean, you knew they had guys that could shoot from the perimeter, but it's one thing to see it, but then in the game, what things did you see throughout that first half that had you going, we're hanging, but they're getting those shots that they can get?
Yeah, I just thought, especially playing against Virginia Tech on yesterday, I thought that was going to be really good practice for us coming into this game because they'd made 7 on us in the first half, and basically this is a similar team with similar style of play, but they just had a different energy level than we had also in the second half. We just didn't have that next step. We weren't moving as fast on some of our rotations, and then we just came up empty early in the first half offensively. But I know a lot of times when you don't win, you always look at what you don't do, but you just got to give them credit. There are a lot of teams that would love to have been in our shoes to play an incredible game like we did in the first round and advance to the second round. But I still think it's a step in the right direction. We talked about it as a team in the locker room, and I just think we're going somewhere. We just, and it's taken an amount of time of what I thought. Year 3, this is where we wanted to be.
And just to follow up on Colin, I know I was asking him a question, but advice for him. What advice were you giving him or will you give him when it comes to what decision he will make?
One of the things we like to do at Alabama is the advice that we give our student athletes is what's in the best interest for them and their family. And we've said all along, we would love for every student athlete on our team to graduate from Alabama, go on to lead productive lives in the community, hopefully have a family, and be, a great role model as a husband and a father. If they own their own business, be the best CEO of that business. For those who have next level talent, we want them to have a long professional career. But whatever's in the best interest. But we've also said that we like to recruit kids that maybe have that talent that can get them to the professional ranks earlier than later. But we're not holding any of our players back. We feel that we want to serve them. We're not here to use them. We're here to serve them. And whatever is best for them and their families, that's what we're going to recommend. And that's pretty much our entire, administration feels the same way. We had our president here for our first game. It was a blessing because Dr. Bell's been there with us, and he's been to a lot of games, and when his schedule permits, and obviously, Greg Byrne, our athletic director, we're all on the same page. We're all unified in whatever's best for our student athlete. That's how we want to serve them.
Avery, you've built a solid base in the first 3 years. But what's the next step, and how do you get there?
Well, we got to develop our players even better. Those who have different weaknesses in their games, we just got to help them get better. Obviously, we didn't shoot the ball as well as I wanted us to throughout the year. We didn't take care of the ball. Our assist to turnover ratio wasn't very good. But I just think we got to continue to develop. And I think if we can keep this team together, at least most of them, if we can just keep them together and keep adding to it, then we'll start to have our freshmen will be sophomores. And now they have not only regular season and SEC tournament experience, but also NCAA tournament experience, and it's real. And now, Dante Hall will be a senior next year, and he's been in the program next year 4 years, and you can see how we've developed him. Then we'll have a group of freshmen coming in. So I just think in terms of having it staggered with freshmen, experienced sophomore, juniors, and seniors back that can provide that continuity, and they'll be able to help deliver my message because of all of those experiences.
Omari Sankoff for Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Yesterday you said that Villanova reminds you of Phoenix Suns and, the teams you coach against, and that Brunson reminds you of Steve Nash. I could post up a little bit. Is there a player that Mikal Bridges reminds you of?
Mikal?
Yes.
Wow. He probably plays like Iguodala a little bit with a better jump shot. That type of long-rangey type of a guy. I would say somebody like that, but he just shoots it really good. But I know a lot of these kids, they really don't. I use the Steve Nash example, but I know a lot of the kids, they don't want to really be compared to current players. They want to make a name for themselves.
Any other questions for Coach?